Hello my friend, Amner Hunter here from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you in another video. This time around we're going to be checking out this awesome plugin by the company Otto. This is the More is More plugin. It involves clipping, limiting, saturation, but in a very transparent and pristine way that can be like the cherry on top in your mastering chain and also in mixing. In this video I want to mix a full song using only this plugin and of course show you the features, controls, audio tests. There is a free trial available. The link is in the video description. I think you won't regret it. Full disclosure, Otto approached me and contacted me to make this video for you guys, so consider this as a sponsorship, but all of the thoughts and opinions remain objectively mine. Also, the members of the company are watching the video at the same time as you do. They have no saying in my judgment or opinions, comments of this plugin. Before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website amnerhunter.com, where you can grab some additional freebies such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players and audio enthusiasts as well. Also some free tools such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with content like this. So let's get to it. Let's talk a bit about this plugin, More is More by Otto. This is like a super high-end signal chain in one plugin. It's like high-end converters, harmonics, coloration, saturation. Everything is built in and it does it in a very pristine and clean way. At first I thought this plugin was only meant for mastering, but I found out and I am very impressed by the sonic qualities of this plugin in mixing situations as well, and how can add a ton of life to tracks that might sound sterile, that might sound a bit flat, like for instance virtual instruments, virtual drums, stuff like that. So let's talk first about the features of this plugin. Let's start here at the left. So you have the oversampling. This I use it more in mastering situations to avoid like digital distortion, especially in high frequencies. Of course, when you engage oversampling, it's a bit more CPU intensive, but it's not as intensive as other plugins. So my session worked just fine and the oversampling is 16x, so it's pretty high. The more here is like the gain staging, where you control like the output of the signal. Also, it has a clipper here, and this mix goes along with the clipper. Let's start here on these drums to show you the clipper. Let's put this 100%. Right. You hear how the signal gets fatter in a good way. Before. And we can gain stage with this, meaning we can like gain match the input and output so that we don't get fooled by the loudness, right? Because everything when it's louder is better to our ears. Pretty clean, pretty pristine clipping. One important thing before like applying a lot of processing with this plugin and start to messing with the knobs, I recommend you click the save clip, because it will prevent any audio from going to 0 decibels. So let's continue with the saturation. Okay. You hear it more in the kick drum. You notice it more there. Let's gain stage here. The saturation adds harmonics, right? Makes the signal fuller. Also has a limiter that you can turn on here. Is to increase the loudness of a track for additional punch, much more loudness for mastering situations, but you can still use it in mixing. Let's check it out. Basically, you can also add more aggression with that, and always remember to gain stage. And it also includes 3 algorithms of clipping. The arc is the cleanest of them all. The soft add a bit of coloration, and the analog will add more coloration of the 3. Let's hear them in action here. The soft, it's subtle, but in other instruments you might notice it more when you go to analog. If you click here one of the screws, either this or this, you're gonna open up the other section of the plugin, which is the harmonics section. This is a great addition to the plugin. Here you have the airlift. This will add some very pleasant high-end, top-end to any sound. This goes hand in hand with the intensity, right? So you need to increase this. Also, you need to start using the mix knob here. This works for the overall harmonics section. Let's put it 100%. Some harmonics. This aggro control adds more smack, adds more aggression to the transient. It's like a transient shaper where you increase the attack of any signal. So more punch with this. The intensity controls these 2 previous controls. Before, let's turn down the clipper a little bit. Alright, and this frequency control, from the amount of hertz that you select here and up, you are adding the harmonics, right? So for instance here, the harmonics start at 1.5K and above. And finally, we have here a violence control for extra aggression. Let's check it out in action as well. We are gonna notice it more in other instruments. Let's go here with the bass guitar. This bass guitar, it's already aggressive, it's already distorted, but we can go further with this plugin. Let's add some saturation, save clip. Let's gain stage. Some clipping. And let's go through the different types of clipping. This is a bit dirtier. Nice. And we can go even further with the harmonic section. Let's put this 100%. Nice. Very pleasant top end. And let's add violence so that you can hear the effect of this. Awesome. Wow. Let's also test it on these distorted guitars as well. Right? Save clip first. Let's add some saturation. Start to notice there the effect of the clipping and saturation. Right? Yeah, that bit of extra, a bit more with the analog coloration. Right, so let's go one step further. Let's go back a bit with them. You can make a boring guitar tone into something with the blend or mix knob here, just to add the perfect amount. Let me show you a before and after of a full mix that I have here, only using the More is More plugin. You see here, more is more in the mix bus, more is more in the drums as well, drum bus, right? And also more is more on the bass, on distorted guitars, on the synthesizers, keyboards, stuff like that, and finally on the vocals group. At the end of the signal chain, I have just a loudness meter for the mastering purposes. Let me go ahead and make a quick before and after of this mix. I went ahead and used this plugin to bring this stereo mix to life. Let's check it out before. Before.
So frustrated. In the end, I still feel like I'm broken again.
Let's check out here the drums. Off. It adds more punch to the drums, a bit more high end, and a bit of coloration and saturation. Let's check it out on bass. Super sterile bass. I believe it's a virtual instrument, so this plugin comes in handy a lot. Let's check it out without it first. Before. Adding more character, more life. Instead of being like this super flat virtual instrument, it sounds more like a real bass. Before. Let's go with the distorted guitars first. Right, a bit of airlift. Some analog coloration, some saturation. The guitars were a bit darker and I made the guitars a bit brighter with this, added harmonics, nice coloration. Let's continue with the keyboards synthesizers, like a virtual instrument type of sound, first without the plugin engaged. This bass synth with the atmosphere, right? With the harmonics section, I lift a bit the high end. Let's check it out on vocals here. Adds that expensive sound, as they call it, that pleasant top end without being harsh before.
Empty eyes are still wide open, silent voices calling, so hard
A
to
bit of
breathe,
airlift,
I'm choking.
some clipping, saturation, and the cleanest algorithm for clipping here.
Empty eyes are still wide open, silent voices calling.
And finally, let's check out the More is More plugin here in the mastering stage. The volume will get a bit louder. Be careful with your headphones or with your monitors. Lower a bit the volume because this will get louder. And also I wanted to test the limits of this plugin to know if it's gonna add distortion if I drive it a lot, and how much can I push it before it starts to distort in a bad way. I have this loudness meter here. Let's check it out.
Empty eyes are still wide open, silent voices calling, so hard to breathe, I'm choking. What's
Right,
the
of course.
point of feeling something?
Increase in loudness.
Now it hurts so much more.
With the louder here.
Now it hurts so much more.
Of course.
I try to find what to believe in. In the end, I still feel like I'm broken again. This feeling so frustrating. In the
Right, I am hitting here minus 8.4 LUFS, which is much more than what Spotify requests. For instance, Spotify requests and other platforms like minus 14 LUFS, but I'm pushing it super hard and it's super clean. It's not distorting, at least to my ears. It does it in a very clean way. Of course, I am using the cleanest algorithm for clipping. Of course, here I have enabled the oversampling and the safe clip. I think that's a good place, like minus 9 LUFS, even though Spotify and other platforms request minus 14. But I have found that when I master at minus 14 LUFS, is way lower in volume in streaming platforms. So minus 9 is my goal, and with this plugin I can do it quickly and very pristine, very transparent. Please let me know what you think of this cool plugin by Otto Audio. More is More. It really gives the name justice. What do you think? I am very interested to know your opinion. Before we leave, let me invite you one last time to my website, where you can grab some additional freebies, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample bags, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with content like this. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it very much. I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye bye.